Good morning, everyone. Myself, Muralidhara Reddy. In this video, we are going to discussing about AWS CodeCommit in 1 hour. Within 1 hour, how do we learn AWS CodeCommit? Okay. Inside this session, we are going to discussing about what is CodeCommit, what are the benefits of using CodeCommit. Okay. And then how do we create the CodeCommit repository? How do we create that IAM user, and how can we connect that particular repository from local to remote? Remote is nothing but here AWS CodeCommit, and also how can we push the code from local to remote repository. Remember one thing: remote repository is nothing but AWS CodeCommit. Okay, and then working with branches, how can we create the branches, and also how can we create the PR, and how do we match that particular PR? What is the process? And also once we done everything, then we can delete that whatever we created the repositories. Okay. Coming to the prerequisites, we need to install the Git bash in your Windows. The reason is like we have to work, to the Git related commands. So I'm in download option. If I give that right click and show more options, here if you see here Git bash here, you can able to find whether Git is installed or not. I have already installed Git. If you are not aware, what you can do, like you can go to that TechWorld with Murali. Okay, TechWorld with Murali.com. Inside here, I have published that AWS Devops course already. Inside this particular Devops, the Git related commands and everything is available. Okay, Git tool configuration, everything is available here. You can go through it. Okay, if you want. In case if you are not aware, Git related, how can we install and everything? Okay, fine. The next step is like what is AWS CodeCommit? AWS CodeCommit is a version control service. Remember, AWS CodeCommit is similar to GitHub, GitLab, Bitbucket only. Okay, but here AWS CodeCommit, it is service hosted by AWS service. Okay, using this AWS CodeCommit, we can store the data privately. You can store any type of data. Example, documents, source code, binary files in that particular cloud. Okay, CodeCommit is a secure, highly available, managed source control service that hosts private Git repositories. Remember one thing here: inside the AWS CodeCommit, we will be store only private repositories. But when it comes to that GitHub, GitLab, Bitbucket, we can store public and private, right? But in AWS CodeCommit, it will be support only. It will be support only to create the private repositories. Okay. CodeCommit eliminates the need for you to manage your own version control system or worry about scaling its infrastructure. See, using this CodeCommit, after came to this CodeCommit or using this CodeCommit, we can eliminate thing like we don't want to manage our own version control system. We don't want to worry about infrastructure, everything, right? Because AWS CodeCommit is managed by AWS, so just we will be use it and we will be pay the specific whatever we use that particular, we have created the repositories, everything, we will be pay that particular amount. Fine. You can use CodeCommit to store anything from code to binaries. You can store any type of data. Example like documents, source code, binary files, anything we can store it. It supports the standard functionality of Git. AWS CodeCommit also, it will be support same as like standard functionality of Git. So it works seamlessly with your existing Git based tools. If we are using Git bash or Git bash in Windows, okay, you can able to use it, and we can able to clone that particular AWS CodeCommit repositories, push the code, everything we can do. Okay, and coming to the benefits, there are a lot of benefits using AWS CodeCommit. First one is fully managed service hosted by AWS. Using this CodeCommit provide high availability and durability and eliminates the administrative overhead of managing your own hardware and software. Next one, there is no hardware to provision. You don't want to provision anything, and also scale, and no server software to install and configure and update. We don't want to do anything. Everything will be managed by AWS only. The reason is it is fully managed service hosted by AWS. Just we will be use that particular service and we will be pay that particular amount based on we use. Store your code securely. Using this AWS CodeCommit, it will be the code will be secure. The reason is it will be automatically encrypted. The particular CodeCommit repositories are encrypted at rest as well is as in transit as well. Okay, in transit and rest as well, it will be encrypted. Work collaboratively on code. So here AWS CodeCommit repository supports pull requests, where users can review and comment on each other's code changes before merging them to the branches. Before merging to the particular code to the branches, we can review that code. Okay, and also we send the notification, example SNS, we can send the notification to Microsoft Teams. We can configure it. If you do any changes or if you raise the PR, if you've done any comments also, we can receive the messages. Okay, easily scale your version control projects. Code commit repositories can scale up to meet your development needs. The service can handle this particular code commit. It will handle repository with large number of files or branches, large file sizes, and lengthy revision histories. It will be support. Let's a simple example. We have a file. That file is it will be 10 GB. So we can store that particular 10 GB code of the particular 10 GB of code also we can store in code commit. So one more major advantage is store anything anytime. So here code commit has no limit of on the size of your repository. There is no any limit or in the file types can store. Here in this particular code commit, you can store any type of data. There is no any limitation for the size of the particular repository. Okay, integrate with other AWS and third-party services. Code commit keeps your repository close to your other production resources in the AWS cloud, which helps increase the speed and frequency of your development lifecycle. Okay, it is integrated with AWS IAM and can be used with other AWS services and in parallel with other repositories as well. We can configure it. And also here, the main advantage of code commit with AWS integrated with IAM. That, for example, I'm a user. I need to get the access. I can give that. I can restrict the particular user. What type of permissions I have to give the particular code commit repository. Example, I want to give that create a repository, delete the repository, create the branches. Which type of repository we have to give? We can give it at IAM level, user level. Okay, easily migrate files from other remote repositories. It means like, for example, the project is available already in GitHub or GitLab. If you want to migrate the particular code to AWS code commit, you can do it. It is very easy. It will be support. Okay. Use the Git tools you already know. Okay. Code commit support Git commands as well. And its own AWS CLI commands and APIs as well is available. We majorly will be used when you use the AWS code commit. We majorly use the Git related commands only. It means Git clone the repository, add the repository, commit, push, everything will be do. Okay, these are the benefits that is available. I can say simple word. What the main uses of code commit is, we can store our projects instead of storing GitHub or Bitbucket or GitLab. We can store the repositories in AWS code commit. And coming to the real time majority of the organization, they may use like code commit as well. They don't want to maintain their own version control system. They want to store that code to the AWS code commit, because AWS code commit is securely only. Okay, fine. And next step is create an AWS code commit. How do we create? We can see. Let's see the demo so that you will get some idea. So before going to create, I mean, whatever we discussed earlier, template like now we are going to do create an AWS code commit. How can we create? Let's see. So for that one, what I did, I'm going to the AWS console. Okay, I have logged into the North Virginia. Remember, I have logged in with my root credentials. Usually in real time, we won't connect with root credentials. We'll be logging with our username only, user credentials. Either we'll be use SSO, single sign-on. Okay, if the particular project is very less, they will be create normal users and they will be assigned the permission. They will be managed. If the particular project is very lengthy project, they will be use SSO, single sign-on. Instead of creating manual users, we will be use SSO. SSO level, we can configure the permissions as well. What type of permission they want to get. Okay, fine. So go to the services. You can search here code commit. If you see here code commit, store code in private Git repositories only. It will be support only private repositories. Okay, now I'm in AWS code commit repositories. You will left side see repositories. I don't see any repositories, right? Because we haven't created any repositories. Now I'm going to create the repository. Create a repository. Here I'm giving sample project. Okay. Description you can give sample project only for demo. Okay. If you want, you can give the tags. Here I'm giving tag name is example dev, or I'm giving dev, because this particular repository, it is a dev project. Example I'm telling. Okay. Here the option is enable Amazon code guru reviewer for Java and Python. If you enable this one, what will happen? If you commit the code and if you raise the PR, it will be suggest to improve our code quality. Okay, quality of the Java and Python. But we won't use now. Just leave it. Create a one. In real time also mostly we won't use that option. Okay, fine. Next, if you see here, we have created the particular repositories. Now we can able to see here the repository is created. If you see here, name, description, when it was created, what type of clone URL it will be support, HTTPS, SSH, HTTPS, gRC. Okay, select this one. If you see here, currently we haven't posted anything, right? That's why it is showing connection steps. If you want, you can go through here. But I have connected with the root user, right? That's why it is not enabling SSH. It won't be support. Okay, fine. Now, if you observe here, in this particular project, we haven't created any files, right? Okay. And if you see here, clone repository, we can use either HTTPS, SSH, and clone HTTPS. Now, what I'm going to do, I'm going to create a file. Here I'm giving hello Murali. Okay. Whatever we are giving here, right? Inside that particular file, it will be store the data. Okay. Here next, file name. You have to give the file name. What file name I'm giving? m1.text I'm giving. Example I'm telling. Okay. m1.text. If you see here, after repository, m1.text file will be created. Author. Who is the author? Author is Muralidhara Reddy, right? I'm giving Muralidhara Reddy. Fine. And then give the mail ID. What is the mail ID? TechWorld with Murali@gmail.com. Okay. Fine. Here I'm giving like created the M1 file. Remember, code commit, that commit message is very important. If, for example, if I have given created the M1 file, so later if is some one of my team member also see that commit, they can easy to understand. Okay, this particular M1 file is created once we see that commit message. Okay, so be careful when you are giving in real time. When you are giving the commit message, be careful. Give the proper name, proper commit message. Okay, based on changes done in that particular file or particular repository. Okay, commit changes. Once we commit the changes, what will happen? It will be generated the commit message. If you see here, view commit message is generated. Okay, in this particular commit message, if you see here, one file is created, that is hello Muralidhara Reddy. Right? Just repositories. Click sample projects. Now, if you see here, we can able to see that option. Okay. Now, if you want to add one more, if you want to upload from your local, you can do it also. Same as Git, might be you aware of GitHub or GitLab, same only. In case if you want to upload, you can upload here as well. Okay. Fine. And if you observe here, when you create the repository, the default branch name is main branch. Okay. I have created one file, the m1.ts. When you create that file, it will be created the main branch, that is the default branch. If you want to change the branch, you can do it. Later part, I can show you like how do we change that particular branch, default branch from main branch to other branches. Okay, fine. And coming to the pull request, if you want to raise the pull request, you can do it. I can show you later sometime, because I can create a one more branch and then we can compare that particular branches and then we can merge it. Okay, I will raise the PR and merge it. Commits. If you observe here commits, you can see like what are the commits we have done here. When it was done, who is the author, what is the author name, committer who is done, everything can able to see here. Commit visualizer. Commit visualizer means it will be showcasing like commits visualizing part. Okay, and you can check it which branch you want to see. You can check it here branch wise. Compare commits. If you want to compare two different branches commits, you can do it. Currently, we have only one branch, right? We can't able to compare it. I can show you later sometime once we create the one more branch. branches. If you see here, the branches we have created here only, that is main branch, that is the default branch. Okay, in case if you want to create, you can create a branch as well. I will show you later sometime how can we create. Once we clone the repository and push everything done, I can show you. Git tags. If you have any tags, we can showcase here Git related tags. On settings, in this particular settings, you can see like if you want to change the repository name, we can change it. What is the repository ID? Remember one thing, once we create the repository, it will be generated the unique repository ID. Okay. And also it will be ARM. Okay. Amazon resource name. It will be like ARM, AWS CodeCommit because it is CodeCommit, right? Then region, which region? It is US East 1, right? Because North Virginia. North Virginia means US East 1. Next, it will be account number, then project name. Got it, right? In case if you want to change that description, you can change it. If you want to change that particular default branch main to other branches, you can do it here. Okay. And if you want to delete the repository, you can delete the particular repository. And also, if you want to send the notification, you can do it here from here. You can send the notification to SNS. Okay, based on event. For example, I want to send the notification to after merge, created, deleted. Based on that, we can select the target is either SNS, either Microsoft Teams, either Slack. Okay, it will be support only 3: SNS, Microsoft, okay, Slack. Got it, right? Next, triggers. If you want to trigger anything, you can showcase here. Repositories, tags. If you create a repository, when you are creating, it will be created repository tags, right? That is the dev. If you want to edit, you can do it. And also, when we create that Amazon Code Guru Reviewer, right? We haven't enabled it. If you enable it, it will be show like recommendation to improve our Java and Python code. But mostly we won't use this one, so we can ignore it. Fine, got it, right? If you observe here, create an AWS CodeCommit repository. Okay, fine. Next, what is the next step? Create an IAM user. Why do we require IAM user? See, this particular repository is available in private repository. I want to clone the repository or I want to push the particular repository to remote. I mean, clone the repository, then I can add a few more files, and then I want to push the code to remote repository. We need authentication. Okay, we need authentication from your local to the particular code commit. So that is the reason we need IAM user. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to create one user. Go to IAM. Here, go to users. If you observe here, currently we don't have any user. Add users. Example, I'm giving Murali. Okay. I'm giving Murali. Then click next. Attach policies. Here, give the code commit. See, if you observe here, code commit, we have 3 options. One is code commit read only. It will be give the full permission, only read only permission. Okay. AWS code commit power user. If you want to give the power user, you can give it, or if you want to give the code commit full access. Remember, in real time, only Devops team having full permission. Remember this point, Devops team having full permissions. If developers, they may get read-only access or power user. Inside the power user, we can give some, or we can give that read-only access, and also we can give like specific permissions like policy level. Create the IAM user. Okay. Create the repositories, create the branches, delete the repositories. We can give that type of permission. I will show you later sometime. Currently, what I'm doing, what I'm going to do, I'm using this code commit power user only. Next, create user. Okay, fine. We have created the user Murali, and also we given the AWS policy name. Okay, fine. It is good. Now we have to create the credentials. You may get doubt. Hey, Murali, in security groups we have a access key secret, right? It will be support for that. No, remember one thing. For code commit, we have a other credentials. If you come down, same in security specific user security credentials. In come down little bit here, HTTPS git credentials for AWS CodeCommit. Okay, here you have to generate the credentials. Remember, you have to generate the credentials. Select this one, generate credentials. So now you have to download it. Otherwise, what will happen? Once you close it, the password won't be shown. So what I'm doing here, username I'm copied. I'm pasting here. Okay, password also I'm pasting here. Okay, fine. Now close it. Okay, fine. Later we can see, use that credentials to clone the repository and push the code from local to remote. Okay, IAM user completed. What is the next step? Next step is connect to an AWS CodeCommit from local. From local, how can we connect and how can we clone the repository? Connect or clone the repository. Okay, how do we do? So for that one, what you have to do? Select the particular repository. Okay, select the particular repository. Example sample project. Now here you can see, right? Clone. Select the clone HTTPS. Remember, in real time, mostly we will be use HTTPS only. SSH and HTTPS GRC we won't use. Clone the repository. Now it is copied. I'm copying this repository. It is already copied. Come down a little bit. How the URL is here? The code commit URL will be like git-code commit. This is common. Then which region you have created? It is not Virginia, right? That's why this one dot Amazon AWS.com/v1 is a version 1 /repos that repository name. It will be like this. Okay, right? Copy this. Now what I'm doing? I'm in download option. Now I'm going to do git clone. Give that URL. Okay. Now enter. If you observe here, it is cloning the repository. But this particular repository is available in private, right? So we should be authenticated, right? For that one, if you observe here in taskbar, it is asking username password. Which username password we have to give? We have created the credentials, right? This one, Murali-80. Copy this. Okay. Give and then password this one. Okay. Continue. Now, what will happen if you go to check here? It is see here counting and it is cloning. Okay, it is clone the repository. If you give the LL command, if you go to the sample project, same as git commands only. Okay, now if you see here m1.txt1 is available. Now if you see here branch name is main branch. Okay, got it right? Now what I'm going to do? I'm going to give touch command before going to that. I want next step. We have connected, we clone the repository. That is fine. Next step is I want to push the code from local to remote. How can we do? For that one, what I'm doing here, I'm creating few files. Okay, touch M2, M3, M4. Okay, git status. Now if you see here, it is showing untracked files. You know, right? Git workflow. Untracked files is nothing but the files are available, files or directories available in working directory. Remember this one. From working directory, we need to move from working directory to staging area. How can we do? Git add that. Okay. Now you can check it. Git status. Now if it's observe here, changes to be committed. Changes to be committed means the files or directories is available in staging area. I need to move from staging to local. We have to use git commit -m committed the file. Okay. Now if you see here, git status, what is showing here? If you observe here, working tree clean, it means the files are all available in local directory. This is the process of git workflow. Okay. If you're still not aware of git workflow, please go through my website, TechWorld.com. I have published the Devops course. You can go through there and come back here. Okay. Fine. Now we have added file. Now what I want to do, I want to push the code. How can we do? Git, I'm giving git branch. If you see here, it is the main branch. Okay, this is the default branch. Now what I'm doing here, git push origin main. Okay, enter. Now what will happen? Whatever we created, right, M1, M2, M3, it will be pushed to remote repository. Okay, you may ask question, hey Murali, I use git push origin main, but it is not asking the credentials. How it was happen to push the code from local to remote? The reason is when we are cloning the repository, right? At the time we set up the credentials. Okay, whatever we set up the credentials is available in credentials manager. If you go search here credentials manager, okay, go to the Windows credentials. Here you can see. Okay, got it right? The credentials is already stored in our credentials manager. That's why here, if you observe username Murali-80, right? If you observe here, Murali-80, the credentials is already available here. That is the reason. Next time when you do the git push, it is taking from here. That's why it is not asking the credentials to push from local to remote. Okay. Now I'm going to I'm going to code commit. I'm going to refresh this one. Just refresh it. Now go to the sample project. If you observe here, the files are available here. Okay. Are you right? The files are available here. It means I created the files in local and I add that particular added and committed the code. Then I have pushed the code from local to remote using git push origin main branch. Okay. Now the files are available here. Okay, fine. Got it right? Any questions here? This process? No, right? The next step is working with branches. It means like how can we create the branches? Everything we can see. Okay. For that one, go to the branches. If left side, if you see here, go to the branches. Now here it is only one branch, main branch. Create a branch. Branch name I'm giving July. Now, when you are creating the branch, you have to take the source branch. Source branch is here. Currently only we have one, right? Main branch. It means when you create the July branch, whatever is currently available in main branch, the files will come to July branch as well. Okay. Create a branch. Now, if you observe here, July branch is created. Now you can click it here. Now you can see here branch name, July branch. Okay. Now July branch, you can able to see the files. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to create a one file in July branch. Create a file. Hello, TechWorld with Murali. Okay. I'm giving the file name is Devops. Okay. I'm giving my user, my TechWorld with Murali. Author name is I have given TechWorld with Murali. I'm giving here TechWorld with Murali at gmail.com. Remember one thing, I'm giving my email ID just for practicing purpose. But in real time, you will get your mail ID. So you have to give office mail ID, not in email address. Okay. So here I'm giving added the DevOps file. Okay. Just commit changes. Now if you see here, the committed the changes and it is in July branch. Okay. Now if you can check it here, in July branch, the file is created DevOps. Okay. This is the process we will be creating. Okay, right? Now what I'm going to do, earlier I said, right, we can compare that particular two branches using commit ID. Okay. Even left side, if you see here, go to the commits, compare commits. Okay. Destination branch is master, source branch is July. Okay. Just I'm comparing. Let's see what are the changes is available here. If you observe here, one change is available only, that is DevOps. The reason is in this particular source branch, it means like July branch, we have created the DevOps just now, right? But we haven't created that particular DevOps file in destination. It means main branch. That is the reason it is showing one. Okay. If you see here, if you want to give the specific comments and changes, you can do it. Hide comments. If you have any comments, you can hide it. Okay. Here you can split. If you want to split it, the difference you can see here. Okay. Got it right? Fine. That is the comparison. Branches creation is completed. And in case if you want, I'm going to create one more branch. I'm giving like AUG. Okay. I'm giving like July. From July, I'm taking the code. Now, if you want to delete the branch, how can we do? If you want to delete the branch, just select the particular branch. Here you can see delete branch. Okay. Once you delete, you can't revert back. Even if you write the ticket to AWS team, they can't help you. Remember this point. Okay. July branch. Fine. It is deleted, right? That is also done. What is the next step? How do we raise the pull request? How do we raise the pull request? So for that one, what you have to do, select the particular repository. Okay. I have selected the repository. In left side, we have pull request, or you can create a pull request here. Currently, I'm in main branch. Okay. Create a pull request. Here, destination is main branch and source is July. August. Okay. Now I'm just comparing first. First, we have to compare. Do we have any conflict? If you observe here, there is no conflict. If you have any conflicts, it will be show like first fix that particular conflicts, then we can do later. Okay. Now here I am giving merge from August to main branch. Okay. Fine. Here, if you want to give any description, you can give it here. And here you can check it, what are the changes is available. Okay. Any commits, what are the commits is there in the particular branch from one branch to another. Okay. If you see here, one commit is there. Okay. Just create a pull request or create a pull request. Anything is fine. I'm selecting this one, create a pull request. Now, if you observe here, the pull request is created. Okay. If you observe here, pull request is created. Where the pull request is available, you can check it here left side. Select the particular repository, you can check it here. Okay. Here, if you observe here, pull request, author who is raised, I'm root user, that's why it is showing root. Destination, which branch it is, last activity, when it was, status, it is open or closed, approval, any approval we need required to approve, approve this PR. We haven't set up any approval rules, that's why it is not showing. But in real time, we may use approvals as well. Before going to merge, we can add 1 or 2 members to review that code, then we can merge it, merge the particular PR. Okay. Select the particular PR. Okay. Now, if you see here, open, no approval, it is showing no merge conflicts. If any conflicts, it will be shown here. Okay. Do you have any approval? No. Then it details, it will be showing what message we have given that particular commit and activity. If you see here, pull request created 1 minute ago, that is also root created. Okay, root user created. It will be show like example, I log in with my user. It will be show my user only. Okay, changes, what are the changes is available? It is only DevOps. Inside that DevOps, it will be the specific content is there. Okay, commits, what are the commits is here? Only one commit, it will be pushed to master. Approvals, do you have any approvals? You can check it here. We don't have any approval, that's why it's showing everything is empty. Approval rules, okay, template, everything you can able to see here. Now, if you want to close the PR, pull request, I don't want to merge it, I want to just close it. Just click this one. Okay, just click, it will be show like it will be cancel the particular request. Okay, the code will not merge when you close the pull request. Okay, sometimes you raise the PR, but it is, it is wrong, that particular PR. You want to close it, just close it this one. Okay. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to merge this one. Click the merge. Now if you see here, it is showing a merge strategy. One is fast forward, scarce and merge, 3-way merge. Okay, usually will be fast forward only. Just click that one. And remember, when you are merging the data, code. Okay, from one branch to another branch, it will be show like once merging. Do I need to delete source branch? Here, source branch is nothing but August branch. Okay, select this one, uncheck it. Create a pull request. Okay, now if you see here, it is merged main branch. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to repository. I'm going to check whether it is came or not. If you currently I'm in main branch, if you observe here, the DevOps is great. Merge to master. Even it will be there in August also. But just I have raised the PR, I merged to main branch. Remember, in real time, interview level or real time, very important thing. How the process will be maintaining in your organization and in your project, the PR related. Usually, let's take example. I have written the Terraform script. Okay, I have written and I have applied the changes. Everything's fine. I have raised the PR. Okay. Then I can merge that particular PR, but it is not recommended. What we have to do, we have to ask our team member, hey, can please someone check, look that particular PR. Then they will review that they will review the PR. Then everything's fine. Then they will be merged to the specific branch. Okay, that is the best option. We don't want to, we have access to directly merge that particular PR, but it is not recommended. The reason is we may do the mistake. If you do the mistake, it will impact entire specific application or specific infrastructure. That is the reason. In real time, we will be maintaining, like we will be raise the PR. Okay, then our team members will be review. then they will be made that particular PM. Okay, that is it. And also next one here, approval rules for templates, right? If you want to create any approval before going to make the particular PR, you want to get 2 approvals. Two people needs to be reviewed, then it should be approved. So we can give 1 or 2. We can give it here. You can give the template name, description, number of approvals needed. You can add the approval pool members. You can add it here. Okay, and also you can select the specific branch if you want to filter it, and also you can declare what are the repositories you have to apply this particular rule. Okay, in real time we may use also based on project to project, they may use template. Okay, so that is the reason is only one people review and method, they may not be satisfied. That is the reason, because it may the particular application it may be critical, so we may do the mistake. That is the reason. When you raise the PR, 1 or 2 people's review, 2 or 3 members review, then it will be merged to a particular branch. Okay, got it right? Okay, any questions so far? So next step is we have to delete that AWS CodeCommit repository. But before going to do that, how in real time, how can we give the permissions to specific user, how they can get the access, we can see it. Okay, what I'm going to do, I'm going to create one user. The username is Suresh. Okay, I'm selecting the particular AWS console because I want to log in that particular credentials. Remember one thing, majority of the organization, they may use SSO, single sign-on, instead of creating users. Okay, I'm giving the password and check it. Next, see here, this particular user, I'm not giving any permissions. Okay, let's see. Next, create. Okay, now you can copy this URL. Here I open the Firefox. I'm going to open this particular URL because I'm going to log in with user. The username is Suresh, right? Suresh. Okay, what is the password? When I created the user, I have given the password. I'm entering that password here. Okay, I'm able to log in. Now what I'm doing here, I'm closing this one, return. Now if you see here, I'm showing this particular Suresh user. I haven't given any permissions, policy permissions. Okay, now what I'm going to do, I'm going to search for, I'm doing the code commit. Okay, code commit. If you go to the code commit, it will be throw error like I don't have permission. This particular user Suresh not authorized to perform code commit list repositories. Okay, if you want to see the particular repositories, we require code commit list repositories. Okay, but I haven't added any permissions, right? That is the reason it is showing error like this. Okay, and coming to that, what I'm going to do, this particular policy, I'm going to add the policy. Add policies. Here, attach policies directly. Here I'm giving code commit. Okay, in this code commit, I'm giving read only. Remember, read only we can give, no worries, because just they can see that particular repositories. They can't create the repository, they can't delete the branches, they can't delete the repositories. Okay, next, just permissions. Okay, now if you see here, this particular add, you can expand this particular policy. Here you can see it, get list, get pull, describe, permissions is available. Okay, now what I'm going to do, I'm going to just refresh this one. Now you won't see that particular error. The reason is I have given the read permission. That's why read only permissions. It will be like list, get, create, not create, get, list, describe, it will be there. Okay, the particular policy, read only permission. Now if you see here, next, I'm able to see the particular repositories. Okay, fine. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to create the branch. If you go to left side branches, create a branch. Now I'm giving like September branches. I'm creating that branch from main. Create a branch. Now, if you see here, when I'm trying to create the branch, it is throwing the error, not authorized to perform. It is showing code commit, create a branch, permissions required. Okay. If you want to create the branch, you have to you need the create a branch permission. But in my case, I have attached read only. Do we have any create branch permissions here? No, right? Only get and list. So for that one, what we have to do? We have to attach the policy, customized policy. We have to attach. How can we do? You may ask question, hey Murali, we have other policies, right? We can give directly attachments and code commit, power user order, code commit. Here in code commit, we can give power user full permissions. Remember one thing, in real time, we are a DevOps engineers, we have a full permission. But when it comes to the developers, we won't give the full permissions. We will be give the specific permissions only, creating the particular repository, delete the repository, delete the branches. This type of permissions we will be give. Okay. So for that one, what you have to do, I'm going to show you one. See here, create star means it will be create the repository, create the branches. If I give these permissions, delete star means it will be delete the branches, delete that particular repositories, everything it will be give like this. I can show you what are the major permissions is available here. If you observe here, batch describe, create a star means create star means after create it will be anything, create a repository, create a branches, okay, everything it will be delete branches, okay, delete branch, delete file, describe. If you delete star, if I give the delete star, it will mean it will be delete the branch, it will be delete a file, everything it will be coming. Okay, get list. If you want to get that merge permissions, you have to give the merge. If you want to give the post, tag, resource, text, okay, and tag, update. If you want to update anything, git pull, git push, this type of permissions is available. Okay, based on particular developer role, we'll be give the specific permissions. If they want to give that create a branch, they don't want to delete the branch. Okay, we don't give that. Just will be give the create star. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to create the customized policy. Then we can attach that particular policy to Suresh user. Okay, go to the policies, create a policy. Okay, here select the code commit. Go to this JSON. Here you can search it, code commit. I'm giving here, just I'm selecting all, but we don't give that star. If you give the star, it will be administrator level permissions. Okay. Here, what you have to do? What happened? Instead of star, I'm going to give this permission. Which permission I'm going to give? Just create a permission. Okay. Just I'm going to give just create a permission. Okay. I'm giving the comma. Now it should be good. Just next. Okay. Okay. Here resource we have to give double quotation. Inside the double quotation, you can give star. Okay. Star means it will be all the repositories having create a branch. Okay. It will be global level, all the branches. I mean all regions. Okay. Create a policy. Here I'm giving example dev hyphen code commit hyphen. Naming convention very important. Okay, real time. Okay. Now we can give it here. Fine. Then create a policy. Now the policy is created. Okay. This policy we can attach to user. Go to the users. Suresh. Okay. Now what I'm going to do? Attach, add permissions, attach policies. Here you can give dev. Okay. Code commit policy. Okay. Select that one. Click the next, add permissions. So I given that create, right? So now I can create a branch. Okay. Create. I'm giving like September. Now it won't be throw. Select the main branch, create a branch. Now if you see here, the branch is created. The reason is I have given star. It means create star means it will be create the branches. But I haven't given the delete, right? So what I'm going to do, I'm trying to delete the branch. If you select this one, example, I want to delete the August branch. How can we do? Delete branch, delete branch. Now it will be throw the error. If you observe here, this particular user not for authorized to perform delete branch, code commit, delete branch. I don't have a permission for that one. So what we have to do, we have to allow this particular policy inside the Devops and CodeCommit policy. Okay, got it right? We have to give the permissions like this. Read-only permission you can give. That is not a big deal. Okay, it won't be an issue. But if you want to give the specific permissions, like if you want to give that the particular repository creation, okay, create the branches, create the delete the branches, delete the repositories. It will be careful based on their role. We have to provide the access. Okay, fine. Final step is if you want to delete that particular repository, go to the settings. Now here, before going to delete the branch, I'm going to change that default branch. Okay, example, I want to change to August branch. Now you can see here. Save it. Now see if you see here, update policy also I don't have. What I'm going to do, I'm going to root user. In this particular root user, I can change that one. Okay, na? See, I'm going to do the update, right? Update policy also I don't have. And that's why it is showing the error. If you the particular Suresh user update default branch, it is not available. Permission. What I'm going to do, I'm going to the August. Now if you see here, change it to August. Now I'm going to check it here. If you see here, the default branch is now August. Earlier it was main branch. Now it is August. In interview level, they may ask question, hey, I have a branch in the particular code commit specific repository. Is it possible to change the default branch from one branch to another branch? Yes, we can do it. Okay. Next, deletion is completed. Now I'm going to delete that one repository. How can we do? We can delete, just select it. Here we have option delete repository. Remember, once we delete the repository, we can't revert back. Even if you raise the ticket to AWS team, they can't help you. Remember this point. So be careful when you are deleting the repositories. Delete. If you observe here, the repository is deleted. Okay. I hope understand that the concepts. Any question? Yeah. In real time, remember in interview level or real time, first thing is majority of the organization they may use SSO, single sign-on, instead of creating manual users. I have created manual users and provided the access, right? But in real time, we will be create the SSO level. In this particular SSO level, we have a permission sets option. The particular permission set will be apply the policies. Okay, instead of giving specific user. Some of the organizations, small type of organization, they may create a manual users and they can give. They will be create the group, and then will be create the particular users and attach to that particular group. The particular group it contains code commit related permission. That is also one option will be there. Second option is second thing is in interview level they may ask question, hey, can you please explain the pull request process? How you organization is following? Just tell them like, hey, let's take example. I have written the Terraform script. Okay, I have tested in my local. I raised the PR. Okay, then once raise the PR from one branch to another branch merging process. So my team will be, I will ask my team, hey, can you please review my PR? Then they will be review the code and they will be merged to specific branch. Okay, if there are any changes or any changes, they will be comment the particular commit. So then I will review that comments and then I will rectify. And then again, I will ask them to review that PR and they will be merged that particular PR. This is the process, very important thing. Okay. And one more thing, don't merge the whatever you written the code, don't merge yourself. Okay. Even if you are confident you have written that code 100% sure, the recommendation is try to ask your team member, hey, just ask them and review that code PR, then they will be merged it for safer side. Okay. You may did I know you may done very well, but sometimes we may did some mistake, right? That is the reason recommended way is raise the PR and ask them to review that PR, then merge it. Okay. I hope understand that. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out me via WhatsApp, or you can comment it. I can try to respond as soon as possible. Thanks for watching this video. We'll see you next video.